Well, a Winnipeg author is focusing on parenting in the digital age. Mike Lund's book, Parenting by Text, Managing Conflict with Teens Through the Fine Art of Texting, explores using cell phones to build better communication. Now, he's here with us in studio this morning along with his daughter, Katie. Thanks for being here.
Hi. Glad to be here.
So let's chat about the book, Mike. Tell me about why you wanted to write it and your experience using cell phones to communicate with your kids.
Yeah, I wrote the book because I wanted to give parents a tool to improve their communication, improve their connection with their teenagers. Even in the best relationships, you're going to have disagreements, differences of opinion, that kind of thing. And when you bring the parent and teen dynamic into it, parents want to give advice, provide guidance, and teenagers, of course, they've got the hormones going and social pressures, all of that. So really, it's a bit of a recipe for disaster.
Fair enough.
And I found 6 or 7 years ago when my kids were teenagers, I would look to give them some advice and I would get some pushback. I'd see the eyes rolling, the crossing of the arms, the heavy sighing. Sorry, Katie.
I've been there too, Katie. I've done all those things. Yeah. I'm still doing them in some cases. Sorry, Mom and Dad.
And it happened quite often, so much so that I didn't really want to engage after a while when there was something that I really should have talked to them about. Because I found myself getting caught up in their behavior, in their eye rolling and all that, and I would lose sight of really what I wanted to talk to them about. So situation happened. I dropped Katie off at school one day, and we had a bit of a heated exchange in the car. It happens.
Totally.
And after she got out of the car and as I was driving away, I was thinking, okay, I need to do something about this, but I didn't want to have another frustrating face-to-face conversation. So I thought, I'm going to try texting. And I used some conflict resolution techniques, which are in the book, to frame this text, and I sent it to Katie, and pleasant surprise, she responded, said sorry, and the next time I dropped her off at school, the situation was completely different. It was an excellent experience. So I thought, I'm onto something here. So I used this technique a number of times over the next while with great success. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna call this thing Parenting by Text. And the book, that was the beginning of the book, really, the idea.
Well, Katie, you're here today, so something must have worked out. What was your experience like with your dad once he kind of changed his communication?
It was honestly a really good way to connect with both my parents, like with my dad texting me if we had sort of a tense situation like that. It would give me sort of his perspective on what's going on and also kind of what was needed going forward in those situations. It was just a nice time to kind of reflect on what had happened and where to go from there. And also, part of the book is connection. So the texts that I love the best are jokes that he sends me. Like, he always sends me jokes and
Nothing like a good dad joke. We are going to show some of those texts. So some of that communication we're showing right now. So basically you give examples of what not to say versus what you should say to improve communication in this book.
Yeah, and for the example here, a common complaint I hear from parents is a messy room. Right? It's classic. And so if you just text clean your room, it's really not going to resonate with your teen. There's not a lot of motivation there. So in the book, it talks about how that second text that you see there, it's a little long, but that's more likely to motivate your teenager to actually follow your advice because there's something in it for them.
So quickly before we let you go, we want to tell people where to find you, where to find your book. What's the best way to get at you, Mike?
Through the website, parentingbytext.com. You can contact me there. Instagram, at Mike Lund Author, two of the best ways.
Mike and Katie in studio this morning. Thank you so much for that.
Thanks for having us.
It was great. Thank you.
Little Tuesday inspiration to improve our communication.